Barca boys no stubborn boys. Like, see, real stubborn boys who, hey, stubborn and Hansi Flick ayeduma. Hansi Flick ayeduma. No matter how you put it, and meaning say I can't be brave. I've said several times the level of work Hansi Flick ayo Barca team, especially team or Jeffrey Xavi Onomana air struggle, the kind of job that this team Hansi Flick ayo hopa, getting them to finals, playing this well in the shortest possible time with the kind of players no kitana almost any experience, almost free La Masia, Pao Victor Mo, Femi Lopez Mo, Gavi Mo, Lamine Yamal Mo, Pao Kubasi Mo, and a Juma Abrante, you know, Charlie, you're solid. Trust me. Barca boys na Juma. My year is such a job, and everybody used to give us a flick. I mean, the credit I would deserve as a top manager at that level. Hi, Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Say hi, no, first time Wabas, you had you're one of the best in terms of football analysis and post-match, pre-match analysis, tactical analysis, off the field analysis. We be at the amount time behind bro. I mean, just a morning I'm more consistent analysis. I say, although it's getting straight to about 11 p.m. we had the bro the analysis of Barca game on the Jumano against Tima, your friend of Real Madrid, and the job that they've been able to. Let me tell you the story. See, from now, the issue around referees and what Madrid were doing, and I felt that in the past few games, teams have actually pushed Barca to the extent say, Omar forced Barca to make mistakes, and the issues of Barca have been very apparent in recent times. So constantly, I believe so. Okay, Barca, Madrid, a bit me just game, and of course for Barcelona, the way of the season now, there was no way they wanted to start the most integral part of the season, with losing a trophy to team and friend in Madrid. No, definitely they didn't want to do that. But Barca didn't want to go into this point of the season after match. Copa against Inter. Then after that, Omoba Belusu against team and friend in Madrid, normal Copa against Inter. Then all of a sudden everything will go promising. Barca did not want that. You could tell from the build-up of the game, Hansi Flick, Money and the were very clear in their thoughts, say they want to go in and win the game. For Madrid, they're more like wounded lion. Look at the story of the Champions League. Around Ancelotti, yes, you'll be Timmy or Nyadi, Madrid fans in this class say, oh, you see players NBA. But again, you give a credit to Ancelotti because how our Madrid team has struggled with injuries this season. He still finds a way, playing the likes of Fran Garcia, Raul Asensio, boy, and all of these young boys to come in and play for team and friend Madrid has been very important. In fact, on the day, the Inter makers and Barca boys in stubborn and said this is probably the very first El Clasico this season. Madrid for one abort, and they will feel like they deserve something out of this game, not to lose. It's probably the very first El Clasico Madrid for one abort, and strongly opposite say nah. Say a second half performance then Kwari Esanki Nyabi be free. Esanki Nyabi be pa every game near board. But that is actually the strength of Barcelona this season. Time why everything that you have to do to stop them, they find a way. And Macane several times. They've done it against Atletico de Madrid, 2 goals down, winning by 4 goals to 2. They did it against Celta Vigo the last time, 4-3. They've done it against Benfica the last time in the Champions League. Over and over again. And essentially, and then they're the holy grail of Hansi Flick Barcelona team. And yet just the tippy-tappy football normal ball. But when the matters get tough, something uncharacteristic of Barca in terms of as a club in recent times now, he literally has drilled in digging deep, tenacity, not giving up, and strong mentality on the boys team. To the extent that at some point in time, we Pedri, Muni, and the idea field, but then the young boys on the La Masia came in and got a job. Now, Barca came in with a starting lineup. I think it was expected. With the absence of Robert Lewandowski and Alejandro Balde, we expected that what Hansi Flick game plan and then they say Obama the press, the counter press are very, very sharp. I mean, counter press in the sense of how good he is in terms of winning duels. Ball Ebukema, how can the boys still win the ball quicker? How can they transit forward? How would they be able to play? I mean, it was very, very important in terms of how they wanted to play, how on the ball, off the ball, more aggression, stuff like that. Really, really, really important stuff from them. And personnel now as a flick at the starting game, was spot on. Started with Raul Asen, started with what's his name up top. Started with Danny Olmo. At some point in time, started the game over there. In the game also there was Pedri, very important in the middle of the park. There was a branch of friend Frankie de Jong, very important player in that area. Ferran Torres, very important in the absence of a bench friend Robert Lewandowski to lead the press and counter press. That was super important for Tima, their friend FC Barcelona. So the lineup predicted, so okay, yes, the hold up play of Lewandowski in any honor. The stretching of the width from Alejandro Balde is not there. But in this game, Gerardo Martin will not play too much of an attacking fullback, or be more or less close to Rafinha in terms of combination play. So Rafinha can get in behind quickly, but Rafinha will keep the weight, most importantly. But the job without the ball, Oshaya in the first half, literally, Barcelona had Madrid for on the ropes, constantly recycling play, constantly pressing and counter pressing, and no counter pressing literally spot on, perfect. And I think it's the first thing that it will give me. When I mentioned it in the morning, said Barca would have to be excellent over pressing on counter pressing, especially with their counter press constantly. So we go in the face of Madrid to win the ball and turn it over anytime on be losing ball to team your friend in Madrid for, and they did it perfectly well in the first half. And I think that at the helm of our face of Madrid team was a branch friend of Pedri Gonzalez. I've said it several times. To be very honest, season way at this point in time, midfielders all over the world, there is nobody as close to how good our branch friend Pedri Gonzalez is on all phases of playing. The last time I was explaining this to certain Madridistas, said, "Washe Pedri a first phase, and he does it so well with Frankie de Jong when he's playing in a double pivot." And I told a lot of Barca fans that forget about the nominal formation. They can start in a 4-2-3-1, but then there's somebody that's in charge of build-up play, and usually it's Frankie de Jong. But when Barca wants to go into the 3-2 base in terms of build-up now, Pedri adds to him our first phase to build up. Now, sometimes you need more than just passing to break the lines, and you need more carriers. And one of the things about Barca in this season that people don't realize is that there are all of the options are available to them. Directly into the channel to Rafinha. They can isolate Lamine Yamal 1v1. So force the issue central. The central progression is something that Barca here with ease. And it is kind of see Pedri Gonzalez on Fiifi-Manfred. And he does that job very well with the central progression consistently. I mean, overloading wide areas now. What they do is that they have players constantly in the essentially to force the issue and play through you and do a very, very good job. And in the first half, for me, Charlie Pedri Gonzalez, super performance, super. In fact, I think that to an extent, Nelson Cabasa for a killing game in the first half. Given the performance of Pedri Gonzalez, given how well Pedri boy on the ball, off the ball, of course, also beats Frankie de Jong, I know a top notch also. In the first half, now the pass accuracy in 100%. One put your foot wrong. Every pass, I think 34 out of 34, 32 out of 32. Super stuff from our brand here friend Frankie de Jong, and just when Pedri started his attack, then ended up at the edge. Of course, isolating Lamine Yamal, taking the ball outright. Madrid for Ababe defending deeper area, then leaving a brand here friend Pedri Gonzalez attacking the edge of the box. But this is something a lot of people did not see. So, share image now. You can see Sabentia, your friend of Jude Bellingham, a loose ball one tracking a runner in Pedri Gonzalez. And it tells also one thing. Barcelona were always ready to press and work hard without the ball. Whilst for Madrid, I mean, you do maybe an ass on my break, then they let it pass. Now Barcelona take you over there. So that was an excellent goal from our branch friend Pedri Gonzalez in the first half. And for me, it set up the tone for the game. Because Madrid would want to react. Barcelona would want to make sure so okay, you kill the game off and me concede, you making sure so you are still in the game this manner. And when we went very, very far into halftime, that's still 0-0. you could tell say that Madrid for were going in confidence. There were times where Vinicius Junior had chance kakra or about to actually when you have Bobby or Preco too far or ball shots, and I will just share you free on them. So you could tell say Madrid for were going in confidence. Then exactly on the streak of halftime, Carlo Ancelotti had Freya Brante friend killer return Mbappe and then preps him for the second half. Madrid for the second half, they changed two things. Now, first half, they literally see the total control to Barcelona. Now in the second half, the plan for Madrid was to go in with a little bit of a hybrid. Okay, there are times where they'll press aggressively, kakra. They are say high press, not not too aggressive to say Barca there, but say they are comfortable to come into the mid block 4-4-2 and then prevent Lamine from being isolated 1v1 from the wide area, prevent Rafinha from being isolated 1v1 from the wide area, and make sure so they have enough numbers behind the ball. Or when you have ball that they can transit. So, there were certain parts of the game and Madrid were planning to press Barca for, especially ball air back into the wide area. And Oshe said most of the time before even killing returning Mbappe free kick in the Bebana, Madrid got some chances by pinning the ball off Pedri in the wide area or coming close to the through line area. Nothing more aggressive, no more commercial. Like they tried to use a hybrid style of person to win the ball from such areas, transit and get the goal from there. And essentially, you could tell the Madrid were coming in the first half because Barca did not take their chances. Now, so in football, when you take your chance, the pendulum essentially switches. Almost everybody on the moment of game, and those were the moments for Madrid. They were pushing, they were making sure they would force the issue against Team friend FC Barcelona, and they did because Barcelona again and Coco came. It was Pedri and the Lusu ball then led to the free kick because essentially not killing Treble.Post was literally through on goal. Then the set piece over there. I mean, say we a player bit to say Mbappe, to send your bar Madrid or Can, and for every other thing, for all intents and purposes. We say Mbappe is born to come to Madrid for nights to say ne. And times where Madrid he has to step up, he has to step up. And that's exactly what Mbappe did, making it 1-1 for Madrid for the team. And that sets the tone by that point in time. Madrid falling inside the Barca for also. Then subsequently, that free kick, corner kick from Abrante friend Adagule. I must mention say the substitutions from Abrante friend Carlo Ancelotti was top notch. It was a very, very good substitution from Carlo Ancelotti. Adagule coming on, Luka Modric coming control the tempo of the game at some point in time. The changes of bringing in Abrante friend Mbappe at halftime, making sure at certain points in the game, even when Rudiger the only centre back will take him off, managing kakra, full backs, keeping the confidence in front. Garcia Moni, I think that's my Carlo Ancelotti did an excellent job in that regard over there. Now, once the second goal came in, for a lot of people, it was done. In fact, even for me, Makani several times say, yes, I don't trust this Madrid team. Tactically, only the best team. But this game became more emotional than tactical because of the Real Madrid for the lead up to the game. The fact that Barca for the cash twice already. So Madrid were coming into it like a wounded lion. They wanted to do something. They really wanted to come and force the issue was how much. So that's why I give them a chance now with them all. And once they went up by 2-1, for me, I thought it was honestly. At that point in time, we say, wow, Madrid literally are winning the game. And they were this close. They were this close to winning our game. At that point in time, Madrid ain't defended like typical Madrid because usually Madrid 1-2-1 leads are around that point in time, around I think 78th minute, around 88th minute Madrid for a share some goal. Okay, Chimeni in the 78th minute and 6 minutes later Ferran Torres. So around the 84th minute, around that point in time, Madrid literally characteristically SAT off AJ ball them out. But Madrid went into attack. Ball long. Antonio Rudiger versus Ferran Torres. Obianim say Rudiger only issue. He couldn't catch up with Ferran Torres. Thibaut Courtois wanted to come and help and then close him and make the angle very difficult. But to be very honest, I think that was a bad decision. I mean, with hindsight, I have that opportunity to say that it was a bad decision over there from my branch friend Thibaut Courtois. And once it came, Ferran Torres has been crucial. So I'll show you the full analysis. I told you that if Barca will win the game, it will come down to 2 or 3 people. I mentioned Pedri, I mentioned Ferran Torres, I mentioned Dani Olmo. 2 of them were on the score sheets today, and it tells you how important Ferran Torres, the Shark, has been for Tima your friend Real Madrid over there. Yes, the drama, there was a lot of drama, penalty calls, injuries, a lot of things that caused on. Then in extra time, Madrid for the come close, Barca come close in there, and it was solid. It was very, very solid over there in terms of their Madrid for the and how well they played over there. I think that was a very, very good game played from Team My Friend FC. Real Madrid, good one from Barca for an excellent goal from our friend Jules Koundé, top level stuff in there. Really, really brilliant football from both sides, from Madrid, from Barcelona. I mean, proper El Gran Clasico, especially after the times of Messi, Money, Ronaldo, more times. This is real El Clasico. I mean, Lamine Yamal actually trying to live up the game. Then there is one from Kylian Mbappe. Literally, Barcelona were in there to go and force the issue, and Madrid knew that they had to force the issue. They had to try and get something out of the game. Albeit not successful, I think it's a credit to Madrid. This is probably the best second half that they've played throughout the season against Barcelona. But Madrid, Barcelona are solid. They understand the game states. They know their moments. They pick it up, and then they know when they have to suffer. A serious machine, and as a flank about it. For me, the next step in terms of the test, against Simeone Inzaghi Internazionale. I mean, tough one. Where it's going to go, I don't know right now. On the day, the analysis. Fiifi-Manfred will meet you. We'll draw the curtains for any analysis. I mean, I watch Channel Park will bring you series of top level analysis. Until then, do take care. Bye bye.